What's this sculpture supposed to be?
Isn't it obvious? The lights are eyes.
Quit pulling my tail.
Look at the eyes. Tilt your head a little.
Come on, I don't... Burn me. It's a...
Trippi troppi, troppa trippa, tre topi trotterellano, tra tromboni tritati.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Heart of Topics, a Guild Wars 2 series that puts a spotlight on old content that may be worth returning to. Ever wondered what the treasure hunting kit was for? Me too. They've been cluttering my inventory space for a really long time, and I decided to figure out what they were actually for. So join me in the Path of Fire region, and I'll show you how to get the most out of them. Next, I'll take a look at some of the rare weapons that drop from the Heart of Thorn map meta boxes that spawn around each map. Some of these I've never seen before, and they can go for a few hundred gold. Alright, let's head over to the Desert Highlands and figure out these treasure hunting kits. I'm starting here at the higher part of the Desert Highlands to give myself enough space to fly around, especially if I want to use my Griffin. You'll notice that there's a 20-minute timer right now, and during this time, if you double-click the treasure hunting kit, it equips you with this little radar. You can use your special action key to pop the radar, and it's going to direct you to an area of the map where the treasures are buried. The event lasts for 20 minutes, and it pops up every 2 hours, I believe, depending on daylight savings. This should be every other odd hour. Every odd hour, actually. This is the first one. If you use the treasure hunting kit again, it's going to unequip the hunting radar. Every time you use one, it's going to auto refill. If you accidentally unequip it, you can re-equip it, and then it just goes back up to normal. And you just kind of want to keep popping the special action key to try and navigate to the area where the treasures are going to be. The map will also outline itself with a blue circle to let you know the area in which the treasure is buried. In that way, instead of running around and just using the special action key for an hour, you can quickly teleport to where they are and skip that entire running around. So now that we've done our treasure hunting, I have about 10 treasures here. What does that actually give you? You'll notice my trade contracts are going to be going up pretty quickly, and a few, I would say, mediocre gear with also one of these orbs on the rarer end, and then just gemstones more on the common end are also going to drop. LG mosaics may also drop from this, so if you have to farm them for a legendary or something for Path of Fire, and you don't have a bounty hunting group, you can quickly just go and do this meta, which takes about 20 minutes of your time to farm out some of the LG mosaics. Now, this is just a bit of trade contracts and a few mosaics. It might be faster to actually run some bounties instead of running around for 20 minutes at a time every other hour to try and get those. If you're not interested in LG mosaics or in trade contracts, I refer to this NPC here as the ultimate vendor from the Wizard's Tower. You need to unlock him with a mastery, but he's off in the corner here. Once you have this vendor, so many of the redundant currencies from all over the maps become extremely relevant. You'll notice he has many tabs. These are purchases from the SOTO expansion. But if you go through, you'll notice that there's many different boxes that you can buy from items that tend to clutter your inventory space. Importantly, there is a tab for the Crystal Desert Path of Fire, and here you may actually buy your own piles that you can consume, trade contracts, pardon me, that you may consume, and that might be a more efficient way of getting trade contracts if you don't want to run around the Desert Highlands. What is interesting about the treasure hunting kits is you can use them to buy Tyrian defense seals. These you usually only get from completing the Dragon Response missions, which most people hate doing. But now I can actually just purchase a bunch of them if I have leftover treasure hunting kits. And why does that matter? You can use these Tyrian defense seals to purchase the boxes that are usually restricted to doing Dragon Response missions. That allows you to unlock some achievements and to convert the treasure hunting kits into basic materials that you might need for other crafting that isn't related to Path of Fire. So if you don't need the trade contracts or the gemstones, you can actually go ahead and buy some of these boxes. They have some really good drop rates and loot. You also have some big ticket items in there, so if you want to gamble away, instead of trying to get these buried treasures running around for 20 minutes, you can just do a quick purchase from the Wizard's Tower and then sell those off, grab your Tyrian defense seals, and buy the boxes. Other things of note are weapon skins that you can buy, as well as recipes and other weapons tied to achievements from the last Living World series that we had.
Give me a report.
So you're interested in getting these treasure hunting kits to exchange them for Tyrian defense seals, but you got rid of all of them. What do? You can find Priory historian Elisa somewhere in the Crystal Desert. She kind of moves around. Go check the wiki, they tell you every day where she is. And you can actually buy the treasure hunting kits from her. So they're going to charge you some karma and some charged sands. Not too bad, it's a really good conversion, and you can buy a bunch. She also sells the bounty hunter armor set. It's a recipe that you're going to have to craft. She's the only way to get them as far as I'm concerned. And the set is pretty interesting. So if you're looking for the bounty hunter set, you're going to have to talk to Elisa every day to get those recipes in and build the armor. It might be a good idea then to farm the treasure hunting kits to be able to buy more of the trade contracts so that you can go ahead and buy those recipes from her. What does the bounty hunter kit look like? On the light armor side, I like it. I'm not a fan of the helmet, but the rest of it is pretty good. The shoulders can be clunky, especially on Silvari, and the gloves are huge. But the leggings, I'm a fan of. I think the chest piece is also pretty tame, and I like the color mixing. I think it's a very good set to get. The boots are also very good. If you're looking for something to do and you're a little bit bored, you don't know what to work on next, the Bounty Hunter kit is something you can slowly work through, and the skins aren't that bad. For the medium armor set, per usual, you're going to get your trench coat, so your chest mixing in with the leggings. The helmet is a little bit busy. The shoulders are enormous, but the rest is pretty cool. You got that bone, scaly look. If you've been playing some Monster Hunter Wilds and you want to bring that into Guild Wars 2, this set is perfect for you. It's giving, I've killed a bunch of bounty monsters and I want to wear their skin for fashion. Finally, the heavy set. I find the leggings a little bit clunky, a little bit wide for my liking. Again, I like my character's faces, so having a big clunky helmet is not my favorite. But the rest of the pieces, I think, are worth mentioning. The shoulders are good. The chest piece is both tame but also loud. I'm not sure how it manages that, but overall, I think it's a very good addition to the wardrobe if you're looking for, again, something that says, I slay big monsters and I run around the map doing that.
What now?
You know what my menagerie is missing?
Trippi troppi, troppa trippa, tre topi trotterellano. Tra tromboni tritati.
Alright, next up, we're looking at the boxes that you find in the map metas or around the map as the meta is going on for Heart of Thorns. These can actually drop some really rare weapons that you may have never seen before. First off, if we're going to be going into the maps, remember that you can get one of the keys per day, so you don't have to do these map metas every day. If you just passively remember to buy them from your converter, you can kind of amass a lot of the keys over time.
I'll see you
Then
around.
again, finding keys is pretty quick. It's not a hard thing to do. There's also the home instance nodes that you should be farming if you remember to do those. They're worth your while once you start to learn of the rares you can get from there.
That's valuable.
So I'm going to use the Black Lion Market to show off some of these skins, both to give you an idea of the pricing and so that we can have a very quick overview of which ones can drop from these boxes. So the Mordrem set is one you can get from Dragon's Stand, Mordremoth's meta map fight. So the pods you can get there with the machetes. But specifically, the Mordrem Saber, the Mordrem Bow, and the Mordrem Axe. So the Berserker Mordrem Saber used to be worth a lot, but they added it to another loot box for a festival recently, so the price tanked. It's not too expensive if you want to have it. It glows a little bit red. There's also the longbow here, and finally the axe. So those can all drop from the pods. I've never seen the saber, this one, before. I don't think it drops from the pods. I think just the first 3 are going to be rare drops. A couple of gold if you get it, but nothing too exciting. Now, something else that drops from those pods is going to be this gun. The Dandy pistol. This one looks really good, and as you can see, it's going for a very large price of around 75 gold, up and down a few days. But if you're just running around grabbing the machetes, opening a box or 2 here throughout the week, if you get lucky, that's an easy 75 gold. We also have the hammer that can drop from those pods. 24 gold, modest. It's nice. It's not my favorite, but if you're looking for something more tame, that's a good one. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with these pods, if you go to the Dragon Stand map, you'll need a few machetes that you can get from either the map meta itself, or there's a vendor here at the front you can talk to, and they'll sell you for map currency from all 3 of the other Heart of Thorn maps. Usually, if you're not doing the meta, there should be 9 of the pods that you can actually machete open and try your luck at without having to do anything. So here, they're usually towards the entrance. I can see one, you can see the blue glow through the map floor. And yeah, it's as easy as that. So if you're interested in any of those weapons, making the trek is pretty quick if you have some leftover machetes. You can also get the Lightward Battle Staff from the end of the meta's chest, or from the airship cargoes in Verdant Brink. This is one of my favorite staffs in the game. I think it works really well with Daredevil as it's like a double-bladed weapon. There's also the Lightward Hammer. This one can also drop from the airship cargoes. So these are not from the machete pods, these are from the crowbar pods, and they go for a very good price. There's also Kingmaker. Kingmaker is cheaper, and not really my style, but if you're interested, this one can also drop from the cargo ship drops. There's also Capra. Capra's a couple of gold if you get that from those guys, but not my favorite. I think these weapons are a great addition because they make it worth going back to something like Verdant Brink. I know a lot of people actually enjoy the meta events in Verdant Brink and the bosses. If you find yourself with a couple of minutes and a few spare crowbars, which I'm sure you all have, I highly recommend just jumping to the map, opening a few boxes, trying your luck.
That's quality armor.
Now, I got the Lightward Battle Staff off the trading post myself. I never had any of these drop, but who knows, you might be the one who gets lucky, and that's 80 to 100 gold right there, depending on when you buy them. Now, Lightward Battle Staff, I think, has been added to the loot table for some of the festivals. So if ever you're interested and you really want it, and you're not getting it from the drops, and you don't have the gold to buy it, the upcoming festivals might be a great idea for you guys to try your luck. Now, here's just a few examples of what you can do if you're low on crowbars. There's events all over Verdant Brink. It's easy to just pop in, kill. Usually there are these like veteran Mordrem that can spawn. You fight them, you kill them, you get crowbars. So these are really easy to replenish. Next up, we're going to be looking at Ebb and Flow. These weapons drop from Tangled Depths, the Crystalized cache. You can get, again, they're very rare. They're not as expensive as the Lightward Battle Staff. I believe the Battle Staff can also drop from the Crystalized caches. But if these are your style, these are dropped from the Tangled Depth meta boxes. So if you're doing Chalk Garant with the Infusion Farm, you got some keys. If you've ever wondered what's the point of opening the chest, well, these guys can drop from there and give you a pretty penny if you don't want to keep them. Or if you do want them, then you can get lucky and have these cool new skins. Teleporting anywhere into the Tangled Depths map during the meta or just during the day, you can easily find some boxes like that. And finally, from Auric Basin, there are a couple weapons that you can get from there that are rarer. These are not going to be tens or hundreds of gold. These are only under 10 gold mostly, but these are pretty cool, so I thought they were worth a mention. if you're ever interested and you want them, or you know what to look out for when you're doing Auric Basin. You do the meta, you open the boxes. This is a cool skin that could drop from it. Again, if you're out of meta hours, there are some boxes that can spawn on the map as well without any effort. So at the pylons, if someone else has been progressing the meta, there should be a couple boxes you can buy. Pardon me, a couple boxes you can open.
Now this.
Yeah, I think this is a really good showcase as to why you should be going back to the maps and doing those metas all over again. You have a chance for some really cool weapons, and if you get something like the Lightward's Battle Staff, you can sell that for 80 to 100 gold, which is a really nice profit. Also, Heart of Thorns are some of my favorite map metas. I'm sure a lot of other people love this content and would like a reason to go back to, and knowing that some people only have a few hours to play here and there, if you're going to be farming out gold at, let's say, Reba or anywhere else, and you're thinking, well, it's not really worth my time, maybe this is something to consider. Maybe it is worth your time to go back to Heart of Thorns, or maybe it is worth your time to farm some of the treasure hunting kits, or at least maybe you have a use for them now. Thank you so much for joining me this week on Heart of Topics. I hope this is going to help you going back and being inspired to go and enjoy the game once more, some of the older content you haven't played in a while. And I hope some of you get really lucky and get these drops and, you know, get those gold coins in your account. I'll catch you guys next week, where we're going to be talking about the ice shards from the Icebrood Saga and what you can get out of them, and can you actually make some really good gold doing strikes every day. All right, see ya.